Hey folks, Mike Johnson here. If it's got wheels and an engine, you're in the right place. On this channel, we dive into car repairs, maintenance tips, and everything you need to keep your ride running smooth. If you're into cars and want to keep learning, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. All right, enough talking. Let's get into it.
Your car's cooling system comprises a network of rubber hoses. The upper and lower radiator hoses are the largest of the group. Because radiator hoses are made of rubber, they eventually wear out over time. You may notice that your hoses are leaking, cracked, spongy or brittle. This indicates that the hoses need to be replaced. In this article, we provide complete instructions on how to replace your radiator hose, as well as a list of the tools you'll need. Are you ready to take on the job yourself? Let's find out. The upper radiator hose connects to the thermostat housing and allows coolant to flow from the engine to the radiator. The lower radiator hose allows coolant to return from the radiator to the engine. How to change a radiator hose. Radiator hoses connect the engine to the radiator. As a general rule, the upper radiator hose connects to the thermostat housing and allows coolant to flow from the engine to the radiator. Meanwhile, the lower radiator hose allows coolant to return from the radiator to the engine. Replacing a radiator hose is generally quite easy. For many people, the most difficult part of the job is bleeding the cooling system afterwards, especially if they don't have the right tools. Tools needed to change a radiator hose. The tools needed to replace a radiator hose vary according to the type of car you own. In general, however, you'll need the following: a 50/50 premixed coolant. Consult your owner's manual to determine the type of coolant. Suitable for your vehicle: jack and jack stand pliers, screwdriver repair manual or access to a repair database, safety glasses, wheel chocks. Instructions for changing the radiator hose. Before you begin, keep in mind that all vehicles are different. The information below is generic and for entertainment and educational purposes only. Be sure to follow the repair information for your specific application. Repair manuals, such as those from Chilton, are helpful, but a subscription to a repair database is even better. ALLDATA and Mitchell 1 both have single vehicle subscriptions for do-it-yourselfers that provide detailed factory repair information. You can read more about access to quality repair information in this article. Radiator hoses are made of rubber, which wears out over time. Removing the upper, lower radiator hose. 1. Put on your safety glasses. 2. Make sure the engine is stopped and cooled. Warning: hot coolant can cause serious injury. Make sure the engine is cool before proceeding. 3. Lift and support the vehicle safely using a jack and jack stands. Apply the parking brake and chock the rear wheels. 4. Place a drip tray under the hose you plan to replace. 5. Remove the radiator cap. 6. Drain the old coolant. You can do this by disconnecting the lower radiator hose, recommended, or by opening the radiator drain cock. Disconnecting the lower radiator hose is the safest way, as the valves can become brittle and break. In any case, you may be replacing the lower radiator hose. 7. Use a pair of pliers or a screwdriver, depending on the clamp design, to loosen the clamps. 8. Wiggle the radiator hose while pulling it towards you to disconnect it from the radiator. 9. Allow coolant to drain into the coolant drip tray. 10. Wiggle the other end of the radiator hose while pulling it towards you to disconnect it from the engine. Installing the upper, lower radiator hose. 1. Compare the new hose with the old one to ensure that both are of the same design. 2. Slide the hose over the connection on the motor. 3. Slide the clamps onto the hose, but do not tighten them yet. 4. Slide the hose over the connection on the radiator. 5. Use a pair of pliers or a screwdriver, depending on clamp design, to tighten the clamps. 6. If you are replacing the upper and lower radiator hoses, repeat the above steps for the second hose. Otherwise, proceed to step 7. 7. Safely remove the stanchions and lower the vehicle. 8. Follow the instructions supplied with the cooling system vacuum filling tool to connect the tool to your air compressor. The tool purges air from the cooling system while simultaneously refilling the coolant. 9. Follow the instructions supplied with the tool to fill the cooling system with a 50/50 mixture of fresh coolant. 10. If you don't have access to an air compressor and vacuum filling tool, consult a repair manual or repair database for instructions. On purging your vehicle's cooling system. Warning: failure to properly bleed air from the cooling system may result in overheating and engine damage. 11. Refill coolant as required and reinstall radiator cap. 12. Make sure the vehicle is not overheating by starting the engine and monitoring the temperature gauge. Do this until the engine reaches operating temperature and the electric cooling fan, if fitted, comes on. 13. Pour the old coolant from the drip tray into a large fluid container. 14. Be sure to wipe up any spilled coolant with a cloth. Coolant is lethal if consumed, and animals are attracted to it. 15. Check online where you can recycle your old coolant. Pouring it down the drain is illegal. You can usually dispose of it at a landfill that accepts hazardous waste. 16. After driving the vehicle for a day or two, check the coolant level again and top it up if necessary. How to change a radiator hose. In conclusion, changing a radiator hose is a straightforward task that can save you time and money while ensuring your vehicle runs smoothly. By following the steps we've outlined, you can confidently tackle this maintenance job yourself. Remember to always check for leaks after installation and keep an eye on your engine's temperature. Regular maintenance is key to prolonging the life of your vehicle. Thank you for watching, and happy wrenching!